How y'all doing? This GS6gun on all the forums, SRP, TSD, BNB, WSW. I'm going to do a real quick demonstration. In fact, for one of the guys over at the shave den who's having problems using a Norton 4.8 and a Boker. As a matter of fact, I just pulled two Bokers off the bench. Nice little custom Tiger Boker with the decorated spine. And this one is a Boker King Cutter. I just put these antique gold scales on it. What we're going to do, this one is mine, so we're going to work on this one. The other one is somebody else's, so we'll play with mine instead of his. What I'm going to do is use a Norton 4.8, and I'm going to kind of use it in the old-fashioned way. In other words, assuming we don't have a bevel setting stone. There is no, let's just assume there is no 1K out there. One layer of tape, that's all it needs. Norton 4.8, you can see where it was used already. What I'm going to do with this is I'm going to make this 4K work a little bit. Now this is the way we used to do it a long time ago, before we all got smart. Over here is a artificial Nagura. Sometimes they're called Norton prep stones. You can buy them just about anywhere from $8 to $14, so don't spend a lot, they're all the same. Take the 4.8, I'm going to take a 325 DMT, and we're going to clean it first. You can use anything to clean it. You can use a sandpaper and flat surface. I prefer the DMTs for most work. They're fast, they're inexpensive. Okay, now there's a little bit of slurry on that stone, which is about the way we want it. We're going to use this as a cutter, so we're going to build a little bit more slurry, and I'm going to use this artificial Nagura to do that. This is exactly the way I used to hone way back when, before the Shaptons, before the Naniwas, all the hot stones. Okay, we got a little bit of slurry on there. And I'm going to cut a bevel. Oh, as you can see, this razor does not grab at all. She's dull. So we're going to create a bevel. How I'm going to do that is I'm going to start right here, and I'm going to do about 20 to 25 circles. I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but the slurry is already starting to turn gray. I'm using a fair amount of pressure right now. I mean, for razor honing anyway. You don't want to flex the blade. That's the only thing you don't want to do. You don't want to flex a hollow grain blade. You can see the slurry turning gray really fast, because a 4K with the natural Nagura becomes... Now before we use circles, we used to do this, which is Japanese honing. And a couple of straight strokes, and then a little bit of Japanese honing. But Lynn came up with that 20 circles to sharp, and man, it just works really good. So we're going to do 20 circles approximately, and it's approximation. You can do 20 with medium pressure, you do 20 with light pressure. Now if you were going to just use a 4K without slurry, you'd have to do a few more than this. I don't really count, just approximate. Now, at that point in time, we're going to take a look at the edge. I'm sorry you can't really see it. I need to look at it underneath the light. And I'm making sure that I have an even edge all the way down. Right now, right down here, it's a little bit weak. So I'm going to push that portion of it. I'm going to kind of lean that, I'm going to torque the blade a little bit and lean it into that heel corner. And I'm going to come back and I'm going to do 20 light circles. Just real light pressure and nice easy circles. Making sure the entire blade gets touched. A little bit of heel forward angle on it. I use heel forward a lot. I'm dipping the razor again, lightening up the slurry as I go, because the slurry is actually drying out as I go. So So you kind of want to keep it so it's nice and smooth. You don't want it to dry out and get thick and gummy. This doesn't require that much work, so it's pretty easy. At this point in time, sorry again, I'm looking at it over here underneath the light, I have an even bevel. Also, wet thumbnail, it's going to grab now. It's grabbing all the way down the edge. Okay, now that I tested that, I'm going to tweak that back in. Couple of X strokes. If you notice, I actually used my other hand here too. The thumb and the finger kind of go behind the edge. There is no downward pressure on the edge. Just a guiding hand. Whenever I'm cutting a bevel, I tend to use two hands. Whenever I'm finishing, I tend to use one. You also notice I flip the razor the wrong way half the time. See that? Not supposed to do that. Just don't touch the blade. I'm going more by feel than count, but it's approximately 5 of each. The slurry is getting very, very light, almost gone to clear water now. I'm just scooping water up with the side of the blade. I'm making sure this entire edge of the blade is nice and smooth as I cut. That's what I want to make sure of. At this point in time, you're going to see the bevel is set. You can actually hear it more than you can see it. Listen. Hear those hairs popping? You might be able to see them pop. But I check up here by the tip, check in the middle, check at the heel and make sure it pops hair. That's a set bevel. Now we're going to do a few finishing strokes on the 4K. Nice smooth X strokes. Now I flip the razor the right way, see? Very, very little pressure. I'm not saying there's no pressure, just very, very little pressure. Nice, smooth strokes. Okay, that razor is bevel set and ready to go. What I'm going to do, once that, I'm going to flip the stone. I'm going to make sure it's clean. Always rinse off that 325 before you put it on the 8K. I always start with a clean hone. I don't grid lap, I just do about 5 or 6 figure eights before I start honing. I have a nice clean hone right now. Okay, notice I didn't take that slurry off there. Little trick. Okay, we're going to go 1, 2, heel forward, straight up and down the hone. You don't have to do this way. I do about 5 by 5s. I'm going to do 5 perfect X strokes. Okay, at this point in time, I'm going to loosen this a little bit, and we're going to flip. When it comes to pyramids, you have to go by feel. You can follow the exact pyramid that Lynn laid out for you guys. I usually do a half by half. If I do 10 strokes on the 8K, I'll do 5 strokes on the 4K. And what I'm feeling for is any rough spots. I'm going to flip. Doing some X strokes. Nice clean hone. flip. I'm going to flip and I'm going to finish. And we're going to finish off this razor now because there's no rough spots. We're going to go one, again, I'm feeling for rough spots here. Okay, now it's time to finish this razor. Make sure it's nice and wet. And since we're going to finishing, I'm going to pull the tape off. I'm going to put a new piece back in. By the way, fastest way to change tape is just like this. That there. Center it up, flip it over, press right here. Don't cut that. That's how you get cut. Don't cut it until you're done pressing that down on the spine. Nice, smooth, even tape again. Okay, take this 8K out and we're going to finish the razor. I'm going to smooth it off with the DMT again. A nice, smooth, clean surface. Take all that slurry off there. And now we're going to do a little trick. Take your finger and wipe off the water. Start doing perfect. Slow finishing strokes. You should be able to see the razor actually undercutting the water out of the hone. There's still quite a bit of water in a Norton, even though we wiped it off. And it should go about dry, somewhere between 10 and 20 strokes. And that's what I'm looking for. It's very, very light. I'm looking to make sure that water gets undercut. I'm watching it, I'm listening to it. One thing about this Norton is when I get done, the actual bevel is gonna look like a mirror underneath the light. Now that is a totally shave ready razor. And you can see it just popped the hairs right off there. The hairs just, I mean, right above the skin, they'll just pop right off. That's what you're looking for. See it shave that hair right off there? Okay. Now all you have to do is strop it out and you're ready to shave. Well, I hope that helped everybody. Norton 4.8, a little bit of artificial Negura, DMT 325, and you're ready to shave. Takes about 15 minutes to do it that way. Thanks. Once again, I'm gssixgun from SRP, TSD, B&B, and WSW, all the shave forms. Take it easy. Bye.